Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Noon with Natalie. I am here with somebody very special. His name is Tarek Riman, and he is the founder of cap.taim. It's a full-service digital marketing agency. Tarek has actually worked with over 100 agencies, SMBs, and Fortune 500s. He holds more than 30 certifications. He's a big go big or go home kind of guy in digital marketing, including AdWords, Analytics, Bing, HubSpot, Woo, Rank, Facebook, and Hootsuite. He has a passion for exploration and sharing new discoveries. He's also founded MontrealTips.com, where I was featured, with proceeds going to the UN Refugee Agency, Montreal Children's Hospital, and many other causes. He's involved with NGOs and charities in Canada and worldwide. I suppose this is what he's doing in his spare time. And as a regular contributor to Huffington Post, Thrive Global, and social media today, he is publishing his first book, The Camino Within, Woo! And it's launching on August 5th, very soon. As a speaker, he gives workshops and presentations on topics on analytics for business and entrepreneurs, SEO for entrepreneurs, digital marketing for businesses, and content marketing. Please welcome Tarek to Noon with Natalie. So excited to have you with me today. We have met before, and I know that you do tons, but I want to, jump right in. So tell me a bit about what you do in your business. You and your business. What is it you're providing to us?
Perfect. So I'm really happy to be here today with you, Natalie. I met with Natalie before, and I'm happy to be here again. And thank you for the introduction. I'm flattered. Yes, that's true. That's all me. But
a lot of hats.
No. Frankly speaking, as I always say, I'm always happy to do what I do, and I want to feel that I have a meaning doing what I'm doing. So that's why I tend to keep myself busy and to grow myself and grow the world around me. When it comes to my business, my company, cap.taim Marketing Inc., or cap.taim, the role of the business is a full-service marketing agency. We target Fortune 500s, we target entrepreneurs, we target small to medium-sized businesses, everybody pretty much. Now, our goal through this the marketing approach that we actually adapted in the company is to educate the clients and to give the clients the tools that they need to not only rely on us as agencies or to rely on us as professionals, but to also have the knowledge to do their own marketing, to build their own tools. You don't want to keep your client, honestly, I call it oppressed or incapable. You actually want to empower your clients to give them an idea of what's possible out there, what they can do. So this is my approach, is to give them as much as possible, to take them from point A to point Z. And that's what I mean by full service marketing agency. We create their website, we create their business, we work on optimizing the websites that it's found through search engines, whether through paid methods or through organic methods. And we read them along the way, and we maintain the service throughout years to come. And at the same time, while I'm doing all that, I sit down, I do a similar call to the call that I'm doing right now with every single client, or I sit down with them in person and I go through an educational approach where this is why we did this, this is why we did this, and I'll teach them the flow of marketing and what they can add to where to stay up to date.
I love it. I love that you are giving them the power, because I think at the end of the day, one of the things we adopt at BNI is lifelong learning. So if we can continuously learn and not have to hang off of anybody, whether it be in speaking in my case or marketing, it's awesome. But one of the big reasons I wanted to do this with you was that you have done something that I'm passionate about, which is writing. And you are coming out with a book in just a few days. So can you show us the book? I don't have my copy yet. The Camino Within, everybody. So make sure you visit thecaminowithin.com to order your copy, pre-order. So tell us, how did this book come about?
Wow.
We only have a few minutes, so you got to come back.
Rush through it. The book, The Camino, it means the way. And it's inspired by the Camino de Santiago, which is the way of St. James. And the Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage or a journey that starts in south of France and goes through the Pyrenees into Pamplona, into Rioja, into different sections of Spain, to go to the northwestern part of Spain, and it's called Santiago de Compostela. And that's why they named the journey after Santiago, Camino de Santiago. Now, the journey is beautiful, it's transformational, it's exceptional. The people you meet there are exceptional people. They're going through similar journeys. And the journey, the best way I can describe it, it's a rebirth. It was a rebirth for me.
Okay.
And it helped me understand who I really am, instead of, as I felt that throughout most of my life, I was fast forwarding through events. I didn't get time to discover who I was. And we go to schools, we learn from our parents, we go to universities, then we start working, and then. But at the end of the day, who are we? Who are we really? I did this journey it's a few times. I did this journey a few times.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it wasn't, exactly. And it wasn't once. And the book is inspired by events that happened across 3 different journeys.
Okay.
And through the journey, I got to, as I said, to transform, improve, learn about myself, discover myself. And the book takes you through the learnings that happen along the way, while keeping it in a really interesting, well-tangled storyline.
And how is this? So I'm going to be reading. I haven't read the book yet. So how is it going to help me, or how is it going to help the reader through your journey?
Wow. You know what? It's the subtitle of the book is "We Are Never Lost. We're Just Not Familiar Yet," and that happened when I got really lost on the trip.
Okay.
So, and that finding happened when I was really lost on the trip, and I realized, hey, I'm not really lost. It's just a matter of time till I find the way back, and maybe there's no way back. Life doesn't come with a map. Life doesn't come with a guidebook. Like even though everybody's carrying a guidebook, life doesn't really come with one.
It doesn't, right?
Exactly.
We just said this about our daughter the other day. There's no book when you have a child. They come, they show up, and you have to kind of learn as you go along. So same applies.
Pretty much. So it really empowers the reader to go on their own trip.
Okay.
To dare, and to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Oh, yes. The unknown.
Exactly. To understand that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's fine. Our fears are nothing. Yet our time is everything. Our time here on Earth is really precious. It's not gonna last forever. Sadly, our time is limited, and we have to use it in the best way possible. And if you read the book, you realize that, okay, if this is not the way, if this is not it, if this is not the life that I want, then I should really change. I should really take actions. And the book starts with the fact that I actually had to let go of everything and do this journey and transform myself. And this is where it empowers a lot of people.
So I know you can't give us the whole book because we have to buy it and read it. But is there maybe a short piece of your journey, or one small story you can share with us that will enlighten us today?
Okay. There's a lot of
maybe
stories.
Your favorite, maybe a favorite part of your journey. One of the favorite parts for you.
Okay. There's a lot of parts in the book. There's a lot of exceptional stories. My favorite is chapter 7, and it's called "It's Okay to Have Emotions and Express Them."
Oh, nice.
And it happened in a really small town. It's called Puente de la Reina. And I think it means the Bridge of the Queen. And it was almost the 3rd or 4th day of the trip, and I was going down from a really high hill that I just reached, and we just crossed the Pyrenees. We just crossed some tough uphills, and it was the first really good downhill on the trip. I kept biking really fast, and I went really fast downhill. I went as fast as actually exceeding the speed of some of the cars. I was just really happy to be going. And as I reached that town, Puente de la Reina, I wanted to take a break. It was been like biking downhill for around 2 hours. I hit the brake. As I hit the brake, my bike was getting parked, but it jerked a bit. So I moved a bit, and my head with the helmet hits the wall. Standing there, I was okay, but some of the locals came right away to help. And one of the locals was an old man with his wife and a friend of his old wife, and a friend of his wife. And they all came to me and they asked me like, hey, are you okay? Is everything's fine? I'm like, yeah, everything's good. Everything's perfect. The guy was like, you really need to go into the church. I'm like, this guy's gonna steal my bike. Like I was still thinking, like
we always see the worst in humanity.
I swear, I was still in my North American mentality. Before I left, I was working in, I was working in an agency. I was working in a tough environment. We were living here, and I left in March. It was a tough winter. You know, North America is a tough place, and when you go somewhere else, you need time to adapt. So I was still thinking, I'm like, oh, this is Montreal. He's gonna cut my bike and leave with it. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to that church. And then we kept talking, and he's like, again, you have to go into that church.
Oh, wow.
Like, this guy really likes my bike. So he kept telling me, come on, Tarek, come on, like, let's go. At the end, he took my hand and he walks with me to the church. I go in, swear to you, I felt the energy. It was exceptional. But still, my mind was with the bike. So I directly left. As I went out, his wife was also leaving with her friend. And he told her, you know what? Watch his bike. So he knew it. So I'm like, they're not going to run away with my bike. So he stayed with me inside.
Yeah.
I can tell you this. It's been like 4 years. I've been working hard. As I said, I finished school, finished university. I've already been working. And it's been 4 years or so. I've been working back to back, one job back to another job, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And I reached that point where I really never felt my emotions. Whatever we had as a problem, I buried it with a glass of wine once in a while, or whatever had like an issue with our own emotions, we'd go to Facebook. Oh yeah, like let's get some attention from there, or let's, you know, I felt like I was always burying that emotion. I was always burying it. I didn't know I buried too much. I arrived into the church and I sat down. The moment I sat down, I can tell you this, like I was so overwhelmed. Like 4 years of full emotions, and it hit me and I kept crying. And I cried for hours. I cried for 2 hours straight on my own in a church. Now, I'm not Christian. I'm a Druze. It's a small religion in the Middle East, which is like a monotheistic religion. We believe in God. It has a bit of Christianity, a bit of Sufism, a bit of Buddhism, a bit of everything. So we were always in neutral. I was always in neutral. And it wasn't my first time in church. And on the trip, I actually ended up going to almost every church. So I'm open to every religion and the good in every religion. So that time, it was like, it got to me so much that I actually cried a lot. I left the church to the streets. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna like macho up. You know, I went to the streets and I'm like, oh my God, I cry. And then the old man was waiting for me all the time. And he was waiting in front of me there and he hugged me and he started crying. So I started crying again. And it was an afternoon of just crying.
That's magical. It sounds magical, yeah.
And it was like afternoon. It was beautiful. It was right next to the church. This picture of the church here, like this is how the book is that there's pictures of the actual locations and
nice.
the actual pictures that I took in the area. And this is the church that you will see.
Oh, beautiful.
Where I was standing right under this, and it was really exceptional. I ended up getting hugged by almost everybody in that town. It was a moment where everybody was like really, like everybody got too close together. And they told me, Tarek, stay here. Do not leave this town. But I didn't. I continued on my bike. And that was a lesson that I learned. And I talk about in another chapter.
Okay.
The lesson from this chapter is, let it go. You feeling sad? It's okay to cry. It's okay to face your emotion. If you're feeling too much for that, then you know what? Too bad for you.
Well, we're taught not to share those emotions, right? We're taught that, you know, you kind of, like you said, you gotta have to man up kind of.
Yeah, like you're a macho.
And I think, in my opinion, manning up is sharing those emotions. So I look forward to reading it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So in the bio, I mentioned that you have Montreal tips and a lot of the proceeds go to different organizations. Is the book also going towards some of those organizations, some of your sales?
Yes. So the book is frankly a goodwill book. From the beginning, I wanted to help people, whether through the content of the book or whether through the donations that I'm going to give or the proceeds.
Okay.
The first 200 copies of this book will actually go to the UNHCR. So I'm giving the proceeds to the UNHCR.
What is the UNHCR?
UNHCR is the UN like humanitarian fund, and it's actually support the refugees.
Okay, perfect.
So And so I am in full collaboration with them, and I'm working with them on this
Perfect.
donation and this big campaign to give the proceeds. And I'm really happy I'm helping them out. I believe strongly in this cause. And whether it's through the book for the first 200 copies or whether it's through the future copies, my goal through this book is not monetary. My goal through this book is actually to help as much people as possible.
Love
and
it.
to give back. And whether I'm doing book signings here and there, and I already have a lot of book signings internationally and locally, and any place I actually choose to do a book signing in, I'm saying that whatever book sales I'm going to be doing are going to go for a cause of their choice or the cause that means a lot to them. So this is the goal of the book. And for Montreal Tips, as I said, I feature amazing people like you and
Yay.
amazing.
It's so funny because I just signed up. You're going to laugh. I just signed up for Hootsuite today. And that post came up of the Montreal tip. So it was almost magical. Like they knew that I was going to be speaking to you today.
Divine. And so, yeah, the Montreal Tips is a Montreal-based blog that supports causes, entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, startups, anybody who's trying to make a difference, anybody who's doing something for someone else, anybody who's helping, anybody with a cause, with a goal to help make Montreal or the world a better place. The goal from Montreal Tips is to help people, to feature them, to put them in a good spotlight and support them.
Oh no, it was beautifully. I mean, I have to give you kudos that the way you laid it out. For me, it was about Team Talk and my teen program and how I'm doing public speaking with teens, and just the way, I mean, I provided you the material, but the way you laid it out, it just looked beautiful. So, you know, thank you for that. And it's so nice to know that this is what you're doing for people and that supporting people in that way. So, you know, I'm grateful for that. And so if you are looking to get a copy of the Camino the Camino Within, you want to go to CaminoWithin.com, and I'll make sure you will find that posted below. And is there anything else that we need to know about this book before we say goodbye?
No, I just want to wrap up actually Montreal Tips, that everything that I'm making off Montreal Tips, not even the profits, actually the revenues of the blog actually go for the Montreal Children's Hospital. So,
oh, fantastic.
And it's a monthly donor to the NHCR. So as I said, my goal through this book and my goal through this blog, and my goal is actually to give back as much as possible. And I'm grateful to do so. I'm grateful to be on the channel with you also, Nathalie.
Oh, thank you.
It's going to be going out August 5th on Amazon, locally in Canada, and the United States, Mexico, Europe, and worldwide on Kindle. And I'm really looking forward. It's my first book. And whoever read it has really had an exceptional transformation. I'm looking forward to hear the feedback. I'm looking forward to see the transformation. I'm really proud of this moment, but I'm also happy for everybody who's going to read it. I'm open to receive all the feedback, so feel free to write me after. Go to my website, Camino Within, and write out.
Thank you so much, Tarek. So today I had Tarek Riman with the Camino Within, being published on August 5th here on Noon with Nathalie. Folks, whatever you choose to do today, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.